Well, happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Got some breakfast here. Quite a lot of breakfast, actually. It's just like a stack of bananas. Spent like $10. Got a bunch of yogurt and bananas. The reason I like this yogurt so much, it's got 12 grams of protein per pack. It does kind of have a lot of sugar. It's got 15 grams, but honestly, more recently, I just don't eat that much. So, like the bananas and the yogurt will pretty much be like my food for the day. Anyway, I want to talk about the Sovereign Woman. So she posted something this morning. Now, I started watching it. I didn't get all the way through it. But she posted about how Black women need to change their image. This was the post. To an extent, I think it was interesting. She was basically talking about how she's an anomaly because she doesn't have any children. She doesn't believe in marriage. She doesn't... What else did she say? There were a couple other points that she made. And I agree with that. I think that all of those identity markers specific to her are definitely not traditional for the group. And I think that it is useful for her to point it out. But I think that her coming online and just being herself is actually the thing that is like revolutionary, right? Like, I think all Black women need to walk through the world as they are. And the issue is most Black women don't know who they are. So one thing she was talking about is like how she's like, I wear my natural hair 365 days out of the year. That's a huge thing. And I will insert this, but I don't know if this is actually going to resonate, if it's going to land. Jessie Woo came online and was like, yeah, or she was talking about the Chris Brown situation, I guess, like with the Breezy Bowl. It didn't go well with the Atlanta show for some people because he moved the stage and some people lost seats. Something like that. But then she started talking about herself, and she was talking about how people get online all day and call her ugly. And I think, like, she might be confused about that. And I just want to say, like, when you come online with a bust down, like a literal European style weave or like, Filipino hair or something, as a Black African person. And I was just kind of like looking at Jessie Woo's face too, and I'm like, I don't know. She kind of does look like she's had plastic surgery. I don't know her situation. I'm not positive. Maybe she hasn't. I don't know her life, right? Like, I don't know. But like, she looks kind of like the Holly weirdos a little bit. And that's not in a way where I am like giving her a compliment. I don't think that she's ugly though. But I'm just saying that when people are talking, and I think this kind of ties into, at least in my opinion, some of the conversation around Lupita Nyong'o, where there were Black women who were coming online saying like Lupita Nyong'o is actually not beautiful. And I think this is what you guys might be missing about attractiveness. So like, I keep going back to this, but there are 54 countries in Africa. That's a lot of fucking different people. And like in Ethiopia, which is one country in Africa, there are 92 different ethnicities. So that's in one country. There's 54 countries. And like Afro Think Tank posted it was like a realistic version of the size of Africa relative to everywhere else. You could fit America, Europe, India, and Russia into Africa, and Africa would still be bigger. So the funny thing is, like, y'all are talking about this like a monolith, like there's not a fuck ton of Black people on this planet, and we don't look similar. We are all Black, some of us. Like North Africans, I do think are a different breed of people, and I have nothing positive to say about Arabs. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like Black Africans. There's East Africans, there's West Africans, there's South Africans, right? Like lots of Black people, tons of them, billions. Now, Lupita Nyong'o is definitely beautiful because like she represents a particular group in a particular region that has a particular group that has a lineage that spans back centuries. And in her group, in the like anthropology of her mating system, She is so desirable that she, like, so I think that's the thing that y'all miss. Like, Lupita, I think she's from London, but I also think she was born on the continent. Like, to get over to the Western world from the continent, you have to be so good. Like, you have to beat out billions of other people to get like one opportunity. Like, that's how good she was. And then even to have the opportunity to do that, she just already had to be like, have some level of like attractiveness to just be desirable enough to be like, all of it y'all don't understand. Like, people, especially black people in Africa, really are tribal. They're not kind of tribal, like they're actually super fucking tribal. Like, so in order to survive, you have to be good. That's, I don't know, the ugly, undesirable people literally are dying on the sidewalk, and you can watch them on a live cam right now. So like, it's not like here where people are like, oh my god, she's a 5 and she's a blah 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 because equal opportunity. And it's not like that. Like, you could just say that you personally don't like Lupita's tribe and you don't like that, whatever that phenotype is. You can have that perspective. That has nothing to do, though, with the reality, the numbers, the data, the facts, or even that most people find her very attractive. So let's just start there. Now, the reason I think people can come on and be like, Jessie Woo is ugly, is because Jessie Woo is legitimately trying to be European, and it's like pathetic because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, there are a lot of black women who come on with these fucking bust downs, blonde bust downs, thinking that we all are sitting here like, oh my god, she's the prettiest. You don't look good. It's kind of another thing I can't understand about Cortese. Like, I feel like Nigerians, y'all need to get y'all shit together, because like, y'all don't look like what you're portraying online. Like, when you woke up, you didn't look like that. Like, you don't look like that. Like, stop buying other people's hair. Stop bleaching your skin. If you want to go on a serious journey of weight loss, totally fair. Totally understandable. But like, nobody believes that like you look like you have long ass Filipino hair. Like, that's not real. It's not believable, and it's not desirable. That's why people are coming on calling her ugly. That's why. It kind of is ugly. If that was a Filipino woman who was sitting there with like long Filipino hair looking like her tradition and her heritage, people would be like, that's beautiful. Because it is. Like, that's how she was born. That's how like God made her. See how that's beautiful. You know how people always say, they say this over and over, God don't like ugly. And then y'all see ugly people out here and they'll try to be like, we are godly. He's already cursed you with the curse of ugliness. We know. We are not confused. I promise. Maybe some of y'all on the internet are confused. That's how you can look at like little Nas demon face and be like, oh yeah, there's nothing godly about that. There is nobody at all believed except the other like faggot demon possessed people who are like, yay, we have a representative. Nobody else believed that. FYI, PSA. But I want to go back to something that happened last night in Lucas's chat. I'm telling you, if you're a woman, if you're a black woman, that is pure entertainment. Like, you can't make this up. So basically what happens is there's a guy, he seems like a kid, maybe like a college kid or something, and he was talking about dating. So there's some girl, I guess, that he is in community with, and he seems to want to have more, like, he does have a friendship relationship with this girl, but he seems to want more. And I think he'd asked her to go to like a coffee shop or something, and she replied like 2 days later and was like, I just want something lighter. I want something light. And then he was like trying to get, because like it was called advice session last night, and so Lucas is trying to give him advice about dating this girl. And then before that, Lucas was introduced for the first time to Homath. Now, Homath is basically this channel that is trying to it's like trying to introduce men to the logic of women, as though all women have the same sort of logical structure, and then you could algorithmically plot this with video. So millions of incels across the world watch this shit. So PSA. And then the funniest thing was to see Lucas watch this, and in 5 fucking seconds clock it. And here's what he says 5 seconds into the video. He's like, there's no way men are watching this. And he starts scrolling through and seeing how there's like millions, hundreds of thousands of views on every video. And he was like, these men are cooked. And he was talking about white men, because that's who watches Hell Math, right? He's like, these men are cooked. And I just sat there. I was like, wow, there's another man who understands. And I just want to put, because I've been saying this for a while, there's men who get pussy, and then there's the men who don't. There's like, they're like, I feel like Psychax said this. He said there's 3 genders. Desirable men, women, and undesirable men. There is a whole other gender. They have their own shit going on. Like, legitimately, nobody sees them. The reason, though, I feel like if you're a woman, you have to understand who they are, because you have to, like, avoid them like the plague. Like the plague. And we can't even start to have conversations about pretty privilege or any other shit. Because then here's another thing that Lucas, and maybe I just like clipped the video. I tried to clip it, but sometimes his lives are too long. I can't go back and clip. But he was basically like, I can't have a serious conversation with you. He's talking about the guy who was trying to give advice to you, because he said your self-esteem, or what did he say? It was like your self-radar is off. Like, the way that you see yourself is not accurate in terms of like reality. So like he was describing like disillusionment a little bit. Not a little bit, like a lot. I think that is like a very interesting take. And I think that's some of the things that like Reddit in what it is, like Reddit as a whole is doing to a lot of people. Like, they're under the impression that because other users with usernames are like saying things and, validating their worldview, that it's correct. Like, they think that because they'll see Sexy Red over and over and over again, that Sexy Red is all black women. Even though in their real lives, they don't know any black women. They don't even know Sexy Red. But in their worldview, they completely understand society now, because they saw one Sexy Red video. So now it all makes sense. We have clocked all the black women. I can't, it's incredible. Like, it's magical, really. That wasn't the point either. The real point I wanted to make here is, it was almost like it was shade, but it was true. It was shady, but it was true. So here's what he says. So Lucas basically says, like, it takes one to know one, or he said, you are a member of the family. And basically what he was saying, well, the guy was like, initially, so as he was talking, I was like, oh, his problem is actually very easy to solve. This guy is trying to access women who are out of his league, and so he continues to be disappointed. His solution is to go and be in community with women in his league. If he does that, then he will be as happy as he can be, like, which is happier than he is now. Another thing, though, I also think is kind of important to note, the reason that American society is so unhappy is because most American men hate their wives, because their wives look like fucking Roseanne. If you had a wife that looked like fucking Roseanne, you would want to shoot yourself every day too. You would be like waking up and going to sleep hoping that one day you don't wake up anymore. And that's what they all think. I actually feel like Ryan Long made a video about this, which was like, it was called like the Fat Wives Community Club, and they all like got together and they just started, this was a skit, but I don't think that this was actually a skit. There are men right now who are living through this, okay? Like, and the funny thing is that I don't think it's these men, but I do think that because like the way that society is set up structurally, Roseanne wins. Like, Roseanne is at the top of the pyramid. Like, no one is uglier than Roseanne, but she gets everything. Like, so even the poorest, like, pretty girl from any city, she doesn't even get a fraction of what Roseanne gets. Because Roseanne has Dan. And Roseanne has those awful children. Like, it's just, she just wins the shit. And, like, there's no way to move forward with Roseanne present. Like, there's no community action. You know, you have to let Roseanne and the clan just die off. Once they have died off, then, you know, progress can go forward. But until then, this fat bitch holds the top spot. And nothing will move after that. This is how you get Sophie Rain, who's the OnlyFans model. Sophie Rain. It's just like, what? Like, that's why. It's because somebody has to have the top spot. Now, in a Gattacan society, it would be Giselle, right? Giselle would have the top spot. She would have Tom Brady, and they would have the perfect, and then it would be like the Jay-Z and Beyonce would also have, and the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. But even there, none of them have the top spot right now. We can all hope, and they're at this like middle tier place. They don't, like, we would vote for like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, right? And be like, they've got the top spot. And it's like all of our favorite couples. No. The reality is that under American mediocrity, badass Roseanne has got the top spot. And every other bitch, you just gotta watch. Because there's like, she's got the throne. She's got the corn, and she's got the Cracker Barrel, and that bitch has got at least another 20 years in her. So, I don't know. Anyway, but basically what Lucas was saying is that you need to date in your league. And the guy, he was like, it really felt like he was trying to like push back against this. Like, he didn't believe it. He's like, no, like all the girls that I'm attracted to that I like, they don't like me back, and then the girls who do like me, I don't really like them. And it was just kind of like, this is the issue of being a dude. Like, that's how the world works. Reality check. Like, and it kind of brings me back to all of the conversations around pretty privilege. I really feel like there's things that people don't understand. Like, in their heart of hearts, they refuse to acknowledge it. And white people specifically have a serious issue because they can't even acknowledge any form of black beauty. Like, they don't even understand what a beautiful black person is. Maybe a man, but they can't even, in their, like, there's some, like, psychology, like, it's like a neurosis. Like, they can see, like, Rihanna, maybe, and be like, okay, so Rihanna is, like, a beautiful black woman. But outside of Rihanna, there's 54 countries, and Barbados ain't even in Africa. So, but that's what they, like, it's very strange. It's weird as fuck. But, and we're never going to be able to explain it. Because also, I mean, look at the psychopathy of it all. At the top of their pyramid is fucking Roseanne. Even the Mona Lisa, that bitch is ugly too, and they posted her on every wall for like a million years. It's insane. Like, pick a more attractive person, please, for the love of God. Like, that is like pathetic to your own race. Pick somebody better. Anybody. Sydney Sweeney, pick her. She's better than the fucking Mona Lisa. Like, goddamn. Like, there is just something, like, everybody, aesthetics are, I think, something reserved for attractive people. That's it. Ugly people cannot participate because they can't give any, like, positive reinforcement, no rationality. They can't, like, empathize with. This is why people will seriously start to argue their way around meritocracy and pretty privilege, and then not acknowledge that in some way those things, if there's one society, in some way those things would have to correlate, and there's a possibility that there could be pretty intelligent people. Like, Issa Rae ruins the idea of American exceptionalism. She just like shits on it every day. It's just like, Issa Rae is like legitimately the antithesis to Roseanne's entire existence. And I feel like that's why I continue to talk about the pedigree princess. Issa Rae is like the polar opposite of Morgan Wallen in every way that there is. Those two people, like, if Issa Rae is a human, then Morgan Wallen is an amoeba. And America is full of amoebas. They're literally trying to be in conversation with each other. and I cannot listen to that podcast episode. That is what I'm trying to say. That is the point. And it's very strange. Because, like, that guy just didn't see it. Like, there were, like, 500 people in the chat last night, and we could all see it. And he was still trying to, like, convince us all that we were wrong. No. Like, because, like, as any person, you could simply be, like, content with being single. Like, society just tells women that you're supposed to be in relationships. Why? I have no idea. Maybe it's, like, affirmative action for men or something. All men deserve a chance. Absolutely not. All men deserve children. Absolutely not. All men deserve life. Fuck no. Like, I'm having the wrong conversation. Like, no. Sometimes you just legitimately look back at the record and look at the shit that you got and the shit that you didn't get. And this is another reason why I continue to, like, boast about being a B student. I am the B student. It's another reason why I want to continue the conversation about the A student. Because, like, when you are actually in community with, in proximity to the A student, as a, like, George Bush is the C student, right? This is like a really popular trope, but he's, like, gone on record, you know, talking about how he's very, just, C is, like, barely passing, right? You passed, but, like, did you learn anything? No. You just showed up every day and they passed you for not failing, right? But I'm not that. I tried harder than that, right? But so being a B student is, like, you do some homework assignments, you know, you do apply yourself, you grasp some of the concepts. The A students, though, achieve mastery. The A students really do go to, like, Harvard and Stanford and Cal Poly, and they, like, build shit. And they've worked hard enough that they are the meritocracy. Now, the problem is there's the F student. Fucking Morgan Wallen and Roseanne, like, F. Just F. Like, some people fail. And I think maybe, like, the problem here is, like, in order to fail a class, you'd have to be enrolled. You can't fail a class you never signed up for. Think about that for a second. Like, in order to fail a class, you would have to enroll in the class. And if you don't attend at all, they would just drop you, so you wouldn't even get an F. You wouldn't even be enrolled in the class. Like, if you don't show up for, like, 3 classes, they just drop you anyway. So